stormy down here, but no, we are not making it dark and stormy, at least today. You are in Pinckney Bend Creation Week. So everything we're going to do this week are drinks we made up ourselves, versions of drinks that we knew that we tweaked. You may or may not have all the ingredients. The fun news is most of these were developed because we didn't have ingredients or we preferred an ingredient over something else. So now would be a great time to get creative. But I hope you guys had a good weekend. I did a lot of yard work just in time for all this amazing rain. It feels beautiful outside, even with all this rain. But we are going to head on out to see what the Keith is doing. Yeah, we're pretty excited about, again, all this week is stuff that we did ourselves or invented things. You will notice that we are getting cleaner and cleaner on this bar as we're putting more stuff away, finishing up the painting. Again, I'm going to plug this in so y'all can hear Keith, so give me a second. Ka-too. That's my sound effect for plugging in my boom mic. Ka-toosh.
Patoosh.
All right, hi Keith.
Hello on this wonderful rainy, stormy day.
I know, it's actually really, I love thunderstorms. I could be fine in the Pacific Northwest.
I have thought that multiple times.
I have no problem with rain.
Although the problem is I'm more fine with thunderstorms. The thing you lose in the Pacific Northwest is they're not thunderstorms.
I don't mind just rain.
I really like a good thunderstorm. They're exciting. I like the excitement. You know what goes great with thunderstorms?
Naps.
And B. Arthur.
Yes! All right, so
and B. Arthur.
We're going to do a drink that I invented because I did invent this. It involves, so as we know from previous things, I really like a bee's knees. However, I also really like whiskey, and I really like long sipping drinks. And there's a fewer long sipping drinks of water out there than B. Arthur. So I named this after my spirit animal.
B. Arthur.
I love B. Arthur. I am unashamed to say it. She is a personal hero of mine. Here is this really tall, gangly, frank, funny in a very serious way woman who made a career out of it and who was unashamed to be typecast as that. As somebody who does, as somebody who does theater, you know, people go, "Oh, aren't you tired of being typecast?" And her answer was, "I'm working." And God bless her. So I named this in honor of my spirit animal. We have a little. Sometimes I play on words because it involves Bärenjäger, which is one of my favorite things. But Keith is going to tell us how to make this drink that I invented called the B. Arthur.
And what I was thinking about it as I did it, and of course, the B. Arthur should start with a solid 2 ounces of whiskey.
Yes.
You made a refreshing toddy.
I did.
Really, when you break it down,
I did.
Like,
I
what
made
if you take a hot toddy and make it?
What if I wanted a hot toddy in July?
Yeah. And I'm like, this is fantastic.
Yes.
So, do I have enough to make it?
I hope so.
Just enough. All right. 2 ounces. Whiskey. I'm doing this in just a mixing glass. I'm not.
And I would say if you don't want to use Rested American whiskey, I would definitely use more of a sweeter. This would not be one for a rye.
No.
It would definitely be a sweet corn style whiskey. Mm-hmm. How much Bärenjäger juice put in?
1 ounce Bärenjäger,
which is a lot, and I'm really excited I chose that much.
And then we're going to be doing a ½ ounce of squeezed from the bottle lemon juice.
Jerry, you can see why we need lemon juice. That is the end of it.
A ½ ounce. We're going to go with it. No one's going to judge us on that side of that. Now, if I had the half...
we would add a ½ ounce would be what we really wanted.
Actually, I feel like that's not going to be too bad, though. Now, going to... Oh, God, I love just the smell of Bärenjäger.
I do, too.
And whiskey together. And what... Now, you could theoretically use a honey or a honey syrup or...
You could.
What makes a hot toddy work is you're adding it to hot water. Bärenjäger... It really is good on that honey flavor, but it turns... There's no, syruping. There's no...
And again, you could use a syrup. One, yes, it would make it less alcoholic. Two, there is a note in that Bärenjäger that really makes this drink. I have made this with honey syrup because I ran out of Bärenjäger at home. It's still good. It's just not great.
Now, we're going to take it. I'm going to split it in two.
So I would call that a mod. So if you're making it with honey syrup, you have a mod. If you're doing it with Baron Jaeger, you have a true B. Arthur. Keith pre-prepped his balls. It's Monday. Look at him.
I've gotten really good at prepping my balls ahead of time.
Yeah, ball prep.
All right, and then I'm going to take this and split it in half, so that way Tara and I both have something to sip on.
Yes. And then what is the final step in said? Final step in the.
And then we're going to top it with just some
We're a little
soda
low
water.
on the. Again, you can easily add more to this if you want. I would suggest a solid 1.5 ounces soda water. I have been known to add, if I want to hydrate, 2 or 3 ounces.
And again, it makes it as strong or as kind of weak as you want.
Yeah, depending on what you need.
And you were talking about how we could turn this into an
all-out
highball.
Yes, I have done a highball of this
but
as well. But again, I usually split, splash of 7-Up and then Rest Club soda just to. But I really like it this. Oh, it's windy outside.
I love that. And then even with we had not enough lemon, but
it's just so delightful.
It really is.
That's one of my favorites. Obviously, I invented it. It is in some cocktail book somewhere. One of Bill's, one of Bill Owens' cocktail book. It made it in.
Someone put it into something. It's just, it is. It's just delightful and wonderful, and it.
Yeah. It's a good drink, and again, if you don't have the rest of American whiskey, I am gonna say though, this is again the same with Vesper. Mm-hmm. If you don't have Baron Jaeger, don't do it.
Don't do it. No,
it's just not going to be the same. And this is you can find this. I know it's at Schnucks in Washington.
I know
it's at Express too.
I know a lot of people are scared of it because of the word Jaeger.
It tastes nothing like it. That man's fighting a bear for honeybees. How could it possibly be bad? No, it tastes nothing like Jaeger.
You're going to hear us go through this because we keep developing and finding other spirits that we love and highly recommend, and they might be ones that don't normally cross your path. But there's going to be really big reasons why we do.
There's a reason for it. Again, the cherry herring, there is no substitute for it.
No, nothing else tastes like, and there's nothing
there
else
is no
like
substitute for Baron Jaeger. Now, I've had other honey liqueurs, but they are not the same. In Lillet, there is no. That is what it is.
Well, and you wouldn't think, again, we took whiskey, we took honey. How is this not like wild turkey honey, lest I say it? But Baron Jaeger has a much more true...
Because honey whiskeys are not the same.
No, they're not. This is, and we put it best of, take two things that are doing the job right. Don't try and have one thing do both jobs poorly.
Yeah, and that goes for your work, your home, your cocktail.
Yeah.
Don't make something do what it doesn't do. It will never work out well.
So take a good whiskey, take a good honey cordial, mix that together.
And there's, I will say that wild turkey honey is the best of the honeys.
I'll give you that.
It is still not the same as a good sweet whiskey.
No.
And Baron Jaeger. It is not an equal substitute.
And, I don't know, maybe... There's ways that it brings out some interesting notes in the whiskey that you can't normally
Thank you, Jerry, for... Jer Bear, for our German lesson. Jaeger in German means hunter.
Baron means...
this means...
bear.
Bear hunter. Hence, that man fighting that bear. Yes.
You get the bear really drunk on honey liquor.
On honey, and then you
punch a bear.
You don't. We in no way endorse bear punching down here at the distillery.
Unless you videotape it and send it to us.
So again, this is one of those things that you actually see everywhere. You just didn't know it. It's usually over by the triple sec, the
sweet stuff.
the cordials, you go over there to pick up your Kahlua, look left or look right, and you're going to find actually a lot of different stuff that you should be using.
And it is interesting the character it's actually bringing out in the whiskey. Like, I'm getting more of that cinnamony, more of that...
You do, and that's why it wouldn't go with a rye, because they're going to fight. They're going to fight.
You want flavors that get along.
That bear and that hunter.
Yeah.
But that already fought for us. No, this is, I gotta say, again, and I know that I created it, so of course I should like it. But to be fair, I have made drinks that I would never drink that people loved, but I would never drink it myself.
I think we're all guilty of that.
Yes. This one, however, I love this drink, and it is. I love hot toddies, but yeah, when it's 95 degrees and I'm by a pool, people look at you weird when you say, "Can I get a hot toddy?" They will not look at you weird.
Even outside right now, it's not, like 40 degrees or 50 degrees. It's a pleasant, like 60, sit on a porch.
Vicky noted it's a great way to spend a rainy afternoon. This is a great This is a great drink for that. And again, we don't really name brand drop a lot. And there's a lot of substitutions, and you will find this week that a lot of these drinks are because we went, I think I like this better. Or we took a base idea and went, what if?
What if we did this?
But there are some things, again, the Berry Jaeger is specific, and a sweet corn whiskey. I would not use a rye. I would not use a malt. I wouldn't even use... There are some sour mashes I would use, but not many.
I don't know. I feel like there might be an Irish that could play with
Four
that.
Roses would go really well.
A big bourbon.
A big bourbon. I wouldn't do a wheated. I wouldn't Weller. I think it's too sweet. A Weller is too sweet.
You got to balance it back.
Yeah. So again, that's the wide world of whiskey. Sweet. You can go anywhere. Out there, what'd you guys drink this weekend? What'd you drink this weekend? I had a Diet Dr. Pepper.
Oh.
And then I had some champagne. I love champagne, as you will find out when we get to Champagne Week.
I had a Thai iced tea.
Ooh, those are delightful.
I had some canned stuff though, so it's not like I got fancy with it. I just put a torque. And then otherwise, I did a really simple, just gin and white soda and a raspberry lemonade.
Nice.
As a little I did Saturday.
Nice.
Something had to cut that heat.
Oh God, it was.
So I went with that, and it hit the spot.
Oh, good.
And then I took
anybody
a nap
at home?
it overhit the
Somebody
spot.
drank a gin and tonic. What did everybody else drink at home? Saturday would have been a perfect day for a gin and tonic.
Too perfect a day.
Too perfect.
Dangerously perfect weather.
We were doing too much yard work. I feel one gin and tonic would have been the end of the yard work. Period. So, what else who else had anything delightful? Again, I really am a big fan of champagne. And we'll get to that in a couple of
You're
couple
really
of weeks
excited
here.
about champagne.
I think champagne cocktails are supremely underrated.
I was going to say on the shout
They're also low calorie.
Some people are starting to get kind of a little bit up and running.
Yes. So today marks one. I want to take a personal shout out that it is not Star Wars Day on May 4th. 5/4 is Dave Brubeck Day. For music nerds out there, 5/4 is Dave Brubeck Day. But there are a lot of businesses are opening back up, but there's also some that, much like us, it isn't just turning a switch on and
it's going to start going again.
It's going to take a little bit. It takes time to follow all the instructions that we're getting. Also, things that make sense, things that don't. But people who are opening back up, Bud's is not, but they are open for curbside. Fernway is not, but they are going to release a really fun announcement. Some stuff they are doing in June. Old Dutch will be, but they're going to put out information of what that looks like.
Social distancing.
Rothschild's is open tomorrow. Again, they're putting out information on what that looks like. Who else is opening that we know? Indo in St. Louis is opening up for curbside. So there are some people who closed who are going to open up for curbside.
Slowly winding up. Just now reading your question, Catherine. So obviously big differences. Club soda it's a carbonated water, but it usually has some kind of like sodium salt added to it.
It's sparkling water with salt.
Now, tonic, when you get into that, always has to have quinine and usually has lots of sugar getting added to it.
Commercial tonic has high fructose corn syrup. So seltzer is the base. It's fizzy water. Club soda is fizzy water with salt. Tonic is fizzy water with sugar and quinine. Mineral water is fizzy water with minerals.
And depending on like the purity of that cocktail, I tend to be pretty interchangeable with club soda and seltzer water. But if you're doing just like a splash,
sorry, it's really windy and things be blowing out there. I, for the most part, prefer seltzer but I also have potassium issues, so that little bit of salt can actually make a huge difference to me.
If a drink is sweet, I like club soda because that
Yeah.
salt actually helps balance some of the sweetness in
Most
something.
people, the average drinker, will not notice a difference between seltzer and club. Those of us who, one, have issues to I'm throwing things, or who are, more attuned. If you sat down and did club soda and seltzer,
You tell it.
you go, oh god,
You do the side by side, you
that does
recognize it.
taste different. But in general, wow, it is windy. In general, club soda is actually what you're going to get on a bar gun. Because of what's called bag and box. We just carbonate New Haven water because we can. Mm-hmm. And it's delightful.
But again, I always find mine situational. Like, if I want to add... Like, I like seltzer water with my whiskey rather than just plain, water.
I agree. I like fizzy water.
But it's very important to me that it is seltzer water.
Yep.
Because I don't want to add that salt when I'm doing it with a whiskey.
Yeah.
So I can use them interchangeably.
And another thing, that's why you don't see, there's no reason to have diet seltzer because it's just fizzy water. There is diet tonic, which still has sugar, it just has less sugar, but regular tonic actually has
a lot of sugar.
Upwards of 80 grams of sugar per serving, which is about that of a Diet Pepsi, or a regular Pepsi. It is very high in sugar. Now, there are some brands out there, a lot of the craft brands, the artisanal brands of tonic that have more like what our tonic is, like more in that 35, 38, varied, which is, it still has sugar, but it's not nearly as much as commercial tonic. Oh my god. There's like a squall out there.
Look what you said, squall, and you made it angry. There's a box that's like working like a weather vane right now.
It's real windy out there. We're real excited about that. I love that. So only one person answered what they drank this weekend. Thanks, Vicky, for drinking that gin and tonic. Our tonic syrup, Steve, what I just said, for a serving, which is about an ounce, about an ounce and a quarter, it's 38 grams of sugar. It is, however, real sugar. It is not high fructose corn syrup, but it is 38 grams of sugar per serving, which is well less than half of a commercial tonic. I can't stress how that's
per ounce. Like, whenever we make ours down here, it's probably not surprising. We do more gin and less syrup because it can be potent.
If you're drinking one that we make, even the can, I think has 32 grams per serving. We use a little less. If you're doing it the way I make it, it probably has 2 grams of sugar.
Oh, honey.
Tequila is my lady. Somebody drank some tequila this weekend. Somebody had a Manhattan. Excellent. It's always good. I also am a big fan of a sidecar. I feel like that's an underrated drink as well. Speaking of the Manhattan world, it was a little hot on Saturday for a sidecar. I'm glad we did Highball Week to kind of there's a place and a reason for a refreshing drink. Hello from Nevada. Well, hello.
Hi.
Thanks for joining us. Yeah, I love a Manhattan too. They're quite good. But
on an 85-degree day, I don't know if Manhattan's what I want to do.
No, but again, a lot of people, speaking of like sugar content, a lot of people get worried about calorie content. Spirits are one of the lowest that and champagne are the lowest calorie things you can drink.
And again, remember that spirits are whiskey, vodka, gin.
Yes.
And obviously the caloric content on
Baron Jaeger's a little more because it's a syrup, it's a cordial.
Well, I had someone who was doing keto.
Oh, somebody had stout cask. Well done.
Nice.
Yeah, you did the keto diet.
Well, yeah, and I had someone when I was I moonlighted at a liquor store, and they're like, "I'm doing keto, so I'm supposed to drink vodka." And then she gravitated towards the flavored vodkas.
No.
And I'm like, "No, those you can't." I love this one with it, and I'm like, "You mean you've already been doing this? Because you're adding God knows how much sugar to everything you're doing."
Yeah, and again, that whole concept of vodka is the low calorie one. It's the same calorie content as gin. It's the same calorie content as whiskey. They're all between 65 and 80 calories.
Whiskey has some wood sugars, but not. It's a negligible.
Yeah, it's a little. But gin and vodka have the same calorie content. It has no bearing. That was in the 80s when vodka started to become the spirit of choice of America, and everybody was jogging in Jane Fonda jogging. And Jane Fonda had her workout videos and Buns of Steel.
I'll sip to Buns of Steel.
Yeah, I had Buns of Steel 3. That was Hard. That was no joke.
They're called buns of steel.
She wasn't
Tara.
kidding.
They mean business.
Do you remember Tybo?
Yeah.
You guys out there remember Tybo?
You guys out there on the internet, do you remember Tybo?
Out there in the world, do you remember Tybo? Man, Billy Blanks. That guy had a workout and a half. I had VHS. Like, I was VHSing. Thigh Master. Oh, God. What a horrible piece of equipment.
It was a boomerang.
It was what a horrible piece. It was supposed to be Derby weekend. We've already made mint juleps. Gavin. Oh, no, we saw who that was. Gavin. We already did mint juleps.
Kind of.
We did a dead nettle julep because we were out of mint. But yes, Derby weekend. And again, we had that whole conversation of Kentucky Derby juleps have to use Kentucky bourbon.
Yeah.
I have had many a julep not using a Kentucky whiskey that was quite good. Somebody lost a bunch of weight. Beer
is very...
Even light beer is like 120 calories, and the ones that claim, the 80 calories, look at the proof on them. They're lower proof. Mm-hmm. They're like 1.5% versus 3%.
Again, beer, you have to remember, like all alcohol at some point had a job. And one of beer's jobs was about caloric intake.
It wasn't
about alcohol content. I mean, Egyptian recipe for beer is how do you keep...
We can feed more people.
It's meant to be a drinkable meal. Stouts especially were built just for that purpose. Yeah. So there is nothing really light about beer.
No, but I always laugh at that. Those people who are like, I drink the skinny girl wine. Oh, so you mean instead of 12% alcohol, it's 8% alcohol.
Do you mean you added water? Yeah.
You added water, but then you drink twice as much because then they're like, well, I have to, I can have 3 glasses of this and I'm not drunk. Well, instead of having 1 glass of a regular calorie content, you had 3 glasses of a lower calorie.
It's just like one of my favorites. What is it? The low calorie Snickers that I saw, and what it was just 3/4 of a bar of Snickers. I'm like,
it's called portion control.
Yeah,
it's not lower calorie.
It's not lower calorie. There's just less of it.
They're just having less of it. So
you could also just eat half of a regular Snickers.
Monster. I don't even actually like Snickers. That's actually funny. That's not. I'm not a. If I'm gonna have chocolate, I'm the like 92% dark chocolate. Like it's not even chocolate. It's I'm fine with Baker's chocolate.
I'm going to have chocolate. It's because I'm driving somewhere at 2 a.m. and I need to not die. I go for a Snickers.
Fair. That's fair. So this week we'll continue. We'll do a couple more shout outs. This week we'll continue with shit we made up.
I love shit we made up.
This is all stuff we got asked, especially in the early days, by our partners. What do we do with this? Hey, I want to drink with this. Some of this I, God bless, found in a book that I was like, hey, remember 5 years ago when we made this? And he's like, no, I don't.
No, there's one of these. I was even instrumental in putting the drink together.
We made
and
it
was
at
gone.
his house, and he forgot.
Which is not new.
So we did post the shopping list, and it has the things that we're listing. Again, some of it we do encourage you to play with. That's a lot of what we did. The B. Arthur that we're doing today, I would not suggest you play with. You need a sweet corn whiskey, much like our Russet American.
You do it the way we say to do it. It's
delicious.
delicious.
Use Baron Jaeger. If you don't, it can't be called the B. Arthur. You can call it a mod, but it ain't a B. Arthur. So, so again, we went out some shout outs. Again, Bud's is still doing curbside. The Dutch is opening. We're not entirely sure what that looks like. They're going to go ahead and post that. Rothschild's is opening.
Right now is the time. If you're interested, call someone ahead and go, hey, what are you guys doing?
Be nice. Don't assume that everyone can do everything. Just be nice.
Just be nice.
People are doing the best they can out there, man.
Take some edge off.
Make one of these cocktails we're making this week. What are we doing tomorrow? Are we doing the Italian dictator?
We will be doing a Berlusconi.
Sometimes the naming of them we're doing a Berlusconi. Keith named this, and there's a reason for it, and it's really
flamboyant
phenomenal.
Spin on a Negroni.
It's really exciting. That's why Jerry got a list of things I need. We do need that.
Yeah, we're gonna need
some of that, but you got that list.
You're gonna need some sorbet. It's a cocktail that involves sorbet, and this will take you down a neat road too of cocktail floats.
Yeah, floats and dessert cocktails. That's a whole thing we haven't even touched.
There's a lot of things we haven't touched.
There's things you shouldn't touch.
There's really...
Also, Greg was here today.
That's
Greg
true.
was back.
We've sanitized
He'll be here
twice.
tomorrow. He had to go get his hairs cut.
Where? How? Look at this.
Yeah, all three of you, Greg, Kat, and you all walked in today, and I was like, man, I'm glad I have long hair and it doesn't matter.
I'm stopped wearing a hat because it doesn't fit. The hair has filled out.
Greg is getting his hair's cut. God bless. He needs it. Gel wouldn't even do anything.
I'm just going to shave it all off.
Yeah. So, Greg will be here tomorrow. He has no idea what we're doing, but we're going to feed him drinks. Sorry, Rebecca, if you're watching. Actually, I'm not sorry.
Not really.
We're going to send him home and little buzzed. We're also excited. A little shout out to Lynn and Martin over at Edelbrand Distilling in Marthasville. We are going to be using... We've been given some gifts to play with. We already have some really good ideas. I know some of the cocktails next week we're going to use. But they do a wonderful line of... And we say the word brandy, and everybody in Missouri thinks this is not what you think it is. This is traditional Polish fruit brandy.
It is wonderful.
I mean, it's almost more of an eau de vie. We're really excited about it. Lindsay, that's my college roommate friend. Remember when I had hair shorter than yours? It was the 90s. It was the early 2000s. There were frosted tips.
It was a different time.
Yeah, Lindsay and I went through some...
Rebecca wants to be here with... Is that to supervise Greg?
Do you want to supervise... Tomorrow for dessert cocktails, you can come on down, Rebecca. I can actually pick Greg up, and then you can just drive him home. That actually might be a good idea. We'll talk off camera. But yeah, Lindsay saw me through some questionable emotional times, boyfriend times, hair times. We lived together in Kansas City. There was just questionable decisions in general. I still have that green corduroy coat. She knows what I'm talking about. I could buy this coat. I could pay the electric bill.
I know what I went with.
I still own that coat, and it's amazing. It's a floor-length green corduroy trench coat. Why wouldn't I need that? Anyway, we are going to... Amazing times. We are going to continue down we nicely on Facebook called it the Pinckney Bend Creations, but in-house it's the Shit We Made Up Week. Yeah. We are very excited for Shit We Made Up Week.
We are.
Some of these, I think, are going to become staples for you. And they use, again, you'll find this week we like certain flavors.
There are, and well... Also, bear in mind, these are ones we developed early on, too.
Yes, we've not had a cocktail creation night in a while, but I think we're going to do that this month.
Instead of having one little chalkboard thing, I have a whole wall we can use now.
It's true. But yeah, thank you guys very much for joining us. We'll be doing this for the month. We're also in discussions of keeping this a weekly Friday show.
We can't keep up with it every day. But
when things go back to normal, but I do think we will be doing this weekly.
We're having fun with you guys.
Maybe
we like you
Thursday.
guys.
I don't know. We'll see.
You're our people.
Thank you. It was wet. Don't worry. That was a wet cough. I'm super allergic to grass, and everybody cut their grass this morning. It's a nightmare outside.
I'm sure the wind is helping.
Yeah, the blowing around. It's great. But we will see you guys tomorrow. If you guys have anything you want to see, a drink that you really like, we are, again, I get to go meet the one, the only... Dave Weglars. The one, the only, the myth, the man, the legend. That is Dave Weglars. We're going to pick up some of his product. He makes a rum. He makes a rye rye whiskey we really enjoy. We're going to bring some of his product in. We're going to play with that. But if there's, something that we don't make, and you're like, hey, this person has a really good this, like I know we're going to get some more Big O.
Yes.
Because we love Big O. We're going to start playing with...
our friends.
I don't like the way that sounds.
I committed.
Keith says we're going to start playing with our friends.
Play dates.
We're going to have play dates with
Dave Weglars.
He doesn't watch these. I'm going to text him and be
it doesn't matter. Someone's going to do it to him.
Yeah.
I want to make this a thing. Anyone who knows him out there.
Anybody who knows Dave, be like, they would not stop talking about you. God bless that man. He puts up with a lot of shit from me, and he shouldn't. So anyway, we're going to continue down Pinckney Bend Creation Week. These are all old creations. We will probably revisit this some month.
Or now that we've started going through so many, I've already got some ideas coming for some new stuff.
We're really excited. But we do have May planned out. Shopping lists and recipe lists will be posted. They'll be put up. So you guys can play along at home if you want. You can kind of see the direction we're going.
At home.
Don't play. Okay, well, every time that moves, I think it's somebody like trying to get into the window. Yeah.
All right, so on that paranoid.
So
note.
on my wait, we got one more. Glad you guys could catch us today too. Thank you guys very much again. We never expected any of this.
No.
Any of it, or that you guys would all tune in. Luckily, we make alcohol. And y'all can tolerate us better when you're drinking, so we're going to continue to show you how to do that.
Yes.
We're going to keep making sure you can tolerate us. That's our job. We're quite good at it, and we appreciate you guys for tuning in. Tomorrow we will have the Burlesconi. Should you want to go down a rabbit hole this evening, learn about...
Pull him up on Wikipedia.
Mr. Burlesconi.
He's a character.
That is... a really good term for it. Today's recipe and tomorrow's recipe are actually already on our website. Again, I actually got quite a bit of them up. You're welcome. I'll get the vodka ones. I didn't, but we did put up quite a bit of our previous recipes on our website. It takes a lot of time. As I told the person on Instagram who was talking about our website, I was like, you can always just message us here because I have a feeling the person doing customer service at 10 o'clock at night is also the person who's going to pull your order tomorrow, and she thought that was quite funny. Anyway, we will see you guys tomorrow. Thanks so much. As always,
stay safe,
stay healthy,
and
keep your spirits up. There's no use in clinking. I drank all of mine. Awkward Zoom.